It is time to dine with Aldo's from Little Italy. Sergio joins us. How are you, Sergio?
Hey, great seeing you.
Good to see you. We've got our chef, Justin, right over here. We'll talk to you in a second. All right, you better be good, man.
You got it.
I know you're a good cook. All right. We're going home to make some Italian meal here today. Now, let's go to the grocery store first, Sergio.
Well, I thought, here this summer, how do you make a quick Italian meal at home? Not sort of stressing about it, not making homemade pasta, but just from the things you see on the shelf, how does an Italian go to a shelf and view what's on there and choose sort of best pastas?
All right.
So we have a couple of things here that I picked up at Whole Foods and some other places, and I tell you, there's a lot of schlock out there.
Yeah, no kidding.
These sauces here, starting with Mario Batali on down, seem to be, to me, the best prepared sauces I've found on the market. And surprisingly enough, the Mario Batali one was, I thought the taste profile was very good for canned sauce.
Wow, no kidding.
One of the differences, and one of the things I'd love people to do, is to read the labels. And when you read a label, you'll find out things like Prego and Ragu and Francesco Rinaldi. There's dehydrated spices in there. There's soybean oil in there instead of olive oil. And they use tomato puree or tomato paste as the #1 ingredient. And in tomato sauce, there should be tomatoes as the #1 ingredient.
It used to be sacrilegious, I know in your family, to buy bottled or canned spaghetti sauce.
Well, truth be told, in my family, you will not find a can of the sauce in there. But I'll tell you.
Thank you very much. It's just for you out there. That's right.
But I tell you what, if you want a quick summer pasta,
no kidding.
the Batali I thought was very good. I tried all of these. But then the question is pasta.
Right.
Because, Italians view pasta as a real sensual sort of experience. It's about the texture. And then the condiment is sort of secondary. So we don't overflow our pasta with a ton of sauce. We do what we call pasta asciutta, which means just dry pasta, sauce that just enough sauce to adhere to the starch of the pasta. The pastas with the most starch, so that you have the best mouthfeel, are those that are extruded from bronze dies. They're slow extruded, slow dried. The bronze dye gives a texture to the edge of the pasta that stainless steel won't.
No kidding.
It's more expensive manufacturing process because the bronze dyes break. So they have to replace them much more frequently. So this is about a $3 pound pasta as opposed to maybe the Cecco or Barilla.
All right.
At home we use the Cecco.
Yeah.
Barilla is also used a lot, but I find that it breaks while you're boiling, so we prefer the Cecco or one of the bronze dyes.
You bring the old standard in.
Listen, I brought San Giorgio to tell you that pasta made in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is probably not your best option of pasta. I brought that as sort of caveat emptor.
Yeah, it's got to be on the table. And here we go. Oh, my goodness.
Pasta.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Look, when it comes to pasta and sauces, read the label. If there's dehydrated ingredients in there, if there's oregano in there, put it back. Italians don't use oregano in pasta sauce. They only use it in fresh tomatoes or in pizza, and that's it.
Very good. Sergio does it. All right, now look, here he is, Chef Justin. First off, I want to talk about how things are at the restaurant. How are things going at Aldo's?
Things are going really well. We're really excited for Restaurant Week. We have a lot of great dishes that we've been working on in the kitchen, getting ready for Restaurant Week, so everything's going really well.
All right, you're humble, but I'm going to ask you, what can he cook that nobody can touch in town?
I tell you what, we came up with a pan-seared monkfish, and monkfish is a tough dish to prepare well, but it's served over some cannellini beans and mustard greens with a tapenade of goat horn peppers on top. It's fantastic. So on our Restaurant Week menu, and I'd invite anyone to take a look at the Aldo's Restaurant Week menu at aldositaly.com, or look at the BaltimoreRestaurantWeek.com site, and all the menus are listed. The 13th through the 22nd of this month, you'll get to taste fantastic dishes. Chef Justin here, what we've decided to do is, hey, if you don't want to do a canned sauce, it's in the middle of the summer. There are fresh tomatoes out there. There's no reason to do a canned sauce. You start with olive oil, a high-grade extra virgin olive oil. You saute some onions, a little garlic, and we've added then just peeled and seeded tomatoes. And then you let that reduce. You've cooked the onions and garlic for a couple minutes, medium heat so they don't brown. We then put the tomatoes, 10 minutes, they'll reduce, they're fantastic then. We did a little magic of television demonstration.
Yes, all right, here we go, look at this.
And when it reduces, it comes out looking a little bit like that. And you have that nice blonde, so almost pink color, which is really gorgeous.
Now, when you make your spaghetti sauce, can Monday sauce be just like Tuesday sauce?
Actually, when you make sauce, when you first make it, it has kind of that fresh, you can kind of almost distinguish flavors between each of the other flavors. When it kind of sits, the flavors kind of marry, and it kind of becomes a little more complex, in my opinion. So actually,
like soup.
Yeah, exactly.
The next day, it's always better.
The next day.
Grandma always told us that your sauce, you are slave to the tomato. If the tomato's good, you're good.
Look, I think the idea of this sauce here is a summer sauce. It is a 15, 20-minute sauce. It's the antithesis of that slow-cooked gravy or ragu on Sundays. But you're right. If the tomatoes aren't good, just like everything in Italian food, if you don't start with excellent ingredients, you're not going to have it. Here he just got a little pasta, boiled it, drained it, did not rinse it. Want to keep the starch on the outside of the pasta, then you put it in the sauce, and we're just going to cook the sauce and the pasta together a little bit.
We just got a call from somebody trying to cook pasta. Why does it stick? Somebody wants to know, can I eliminate the sticking?
It's sticking because you don't have enough water, and you don't have maybe enough salt in there. Don't listen to the old wives' tales about oil in the water. You need enough boiling water, maybe a gallon to the pound, so that when it goes in there, that's when it won't stick. And then you just give it a little toss, a little turn. But olive oil on the top, that's all sort of not necessary.
Okay. Hey, tell me about the Mason-Dixon cook-off.
Mason-Dixon Master Chef Tournament is a tournament that was organized by a friend of mine, and basically it features chefs from the Baltimore, Pennsylvania, and D.C. area. What it was is basically like a NCAA style tournament. We started out with 36 chefs. We are now down to 8.
He's a finalist. Justin is one of the finalists.
Man,
The last 8.
The Elite 8.
I've made it through 2 rounds. I have 2 more to go.
Tickets are available for Mason-Dixon Chef Tournament at masondixonmasterchef.com.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Let's go down to Alda's in Little Italy for Restaurant Week coming up in August. Thanks a lot, Sergio.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Your family. All right.
You.
Thanks,
nice
Chef Justin. All right, and then we have Justin Burke doing the weather here. All kinds of Justins. We'll be right back. More of Good Morning Maryland at 9 o'clock continues right after this.